The latest My Hero Academia chapter is Thank You for Being Fine. This battlefield has everything. Heroes at death's door, villains with massive spider legs, giants, telenovela levels of family drama, and simul-vlogs. It's that thing when a murderous villain monologues at the heroes while vlogging his tragic backstory to the whole of Japan, at the same time waving his DNA test around like a Maury guest. Okay, my Stefan impression probably needs work, but the past two chapters are bananas in an already bat-crack crazy arc, which seems to be coming to its culmination. I'm pleased by a lot of things. Chapter 290 was brilliant and as impactful as a supernova. I'm glad that 291 was a continuation that fleshed things out more and didn't switch to another part of the battlefield like I feared. This is certainly a huge milestone in the story. As many others have said, the reveal of Dabi being Toya Todoroki is not shocking. It was inevitable, in a good way. Horikoshi subtly told a story that viewers were able to pick up on years ago, and he neither rushed to the reveal nor tried to change it last minute to get some kind of gotcha moment. The execution of this plot point had so much style that he had our collective jaws on the floor even though we knew it was coming. I'm having a hard time predicting the long-term aftermath. So many things can happen from here. Obviously, the Todoroki family will be in shambles. Rei will more than likely regress. Poor Fuyumi will probably have a breakdown. She's the one who has invested the most into keeping the Todoroki family somewhat together. Natsuo will be obliterated. Endeavor is donezo as a pro-hero, even if Hero Society limps its way out of the rubble. The Todorokis will lose their wealth and perhaps their home. I wonder if this will make them cling to each other more or push each other away completely. Only time will tell, but I'm so glad we got to see Shoto's attempt to protect Endeavor from Dabi's imminent attack. Ultimately, he wasn't able to get through to a thunderstruck Endeavor before Dabi's murder-suicide leap from Gigantamachia's back, so I'm glad Best Jeanist was there to come through in the clutch. I want Endeavor to live. It's far too easy for him to die in disgrace. Living in disgrace is a way more compelling narrative to me. I want to see how he reacts to losing everything he built while knowing the child he thought was dead was actually a ruined evil man, in large part because of the role ambition and manipulation played in his upbringing. It was so valuable seeing how Endeavor was with Toya. He was a regular dad for the most part. He was in partnership with Toya and Rei. She was on board with his plans and helped him strategize at first. Toya was an eager student and fought through the toll all the training was taking on his body. I don't quite understand the timeline, but my theory is that when Shoto manifested his dual quirks, Enji got stars in his eyes and abandoned Toya. That sense of loss sent Toya into Natsuo's arms, crying and trying to figure out his life's worth. Toya then went to prove that he was worthy of his father's love and tutelage by trying Prominence Burn by himself, which led to the grisly injuries that made his body a patchwork and had everyone thinking he died. And Endeavor, who had already given himself over completely to his ambitions, doubled down on that rather than dealing with his grief like a normal human person. And I've been rooting for Endeavor, but I'm glad he actually has to go through the crucible of confronting his past to obtain redemption. It's always so weak when a character or someone in real life gets the treatment of the redeemed without really having to do anything. In the long term, Shoto unfortunately might as well hang up his heroic aspirations, because who is going to trust him after Endeavor and Dabi destroyed the family name? And how is he going to internalize that A, his brother wanted to kill him, and B, his brother thinks of him as the thing he never wanted to be, Endeavor's puppet? None of this is fair to Shoto, and I hate it, to be honest. Now as we look past this arc into the future, I'm so scared for the My Hero Academia universe. All Might explained to Midoriya way back in Season 2 that when quirks first manifested, quote, civilization's progress stalled, society decayed. So what happens now? Are people just going to go F it and start using their quirks whenever and however they like? I shudder to think of how the billion or so humans without quirks will fare in such anarchy. I hope calmer heads will prevail and Hero Society continues, because it's actually a pretty ingenious system, despite how all the cold-blooded killers on this show keep charismatically squawking about its failings. And I know it could use some reform, but we've seen the Hero Public Safety Commission pivot to new tactics when different issues arise, so that shouldn't be a problem. Of course, I currently live in a country being ravaged by a pandemic, while many of my fellow citizens are, running around blowing directly into each other's mouths or whatever. So, people don't always elect to do what's best for them in a society. Now, Deku has narrated that this is the story of how he became the #1 hero, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, it would be morbidly hilarious if Deku ended this arc with a "there you have it, after all the heroes died or retired with career-ending injuries and Endeavor fell from grace, I'm all they had left. That was the good 2 weeks before the total collapse of society. Go Beyond plus Ultra." Anyway, I'm really excited for what's next in My Hero Academia. We have another break, so the next chapter won't be coming out until November 29th. I hope there's some third-string heroes who can come and help Best Jeanist end this battle once and for all. Where the hell did Rocklock run off to? Give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd be so kind.